Celebrity Big Brother's bit on the side. The weekend might be over, but we are still partying like it's 3 a.m. on a Friday night. The only exception being there are no kebabs and I still have my shoes on. That's fine. Right, we are T-4 days away from our first celebrity finale of 2013. It's going to be... That's approximately 96 hours, but I'm sure there is still time for a little bit of this. A little bit of this.
Who knows what's out of there that we want?
Well, they're all getting empty, so there's no rush.
Fly from steps.
And a whole lot of this.
Was it good, the back?
Now, you might have all missed it, but as he cupped, you did see a little... There was a gap. So you did see a slight bit of testicle, if anybody's interested. Right, as it's our final week... Sorry. We've pulled out all the stops to bring you a stunning star-spangled panel. That's really hard to say. First up is an EastEnder actress, best known for disapproving of her son's choice in partner, so she must have a clear understanding of what Heidi's mum is probably going through. It's Nina Mwania! Show may have got 2 housemates for the price of 1 in the form of Spidey, but anything they can do, we can do better. So we've only gone and booked one of the UK's hottest boy/man bands, and they're all here tonight. It's Adam, Andy, Joel and Ryan, a.k.a. Lawson. This can happen all night, isn't it? Yeah. And finally, a man who needs no introduction, except perhaps to his barber. It's our dear Jamie. Okay. What happened to your face?
It's been the most disastrous day of my life.
Clearly. What happened?
All will be revealed on tomorrow night's show. Safe to say, it's been an absolute shambles.
So you're teasing
What's happened to your hair as well? I think they've taken my beard and put it on your head.
Yeah. I was trying to channel your big lot of hair, but, you know.
I feel ashamed.
Do you feel slightly violated and naked?
I feel violated and naked.
All at the same time. Should we talk about tonight's show?
Please.
OK, let's talk about tonight's show. I've got to say, it was, for me, possibly one of the most jaw-dropping shows I've ever watched in every Celebrity Big Brother. It was Dramageddon, wasn't it?
Yeah. Dramageddon, yes.
Didn't hear the da-da-da! So Spidey, as we know, we're at it again, and oh my goodness, they have gone far. But have they gone too far?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my goodness. I can't believe that you don't have any heart whatsoever to do what they did.
So what do you think's going on, Nina? What is it with them?
I think it's a cult of one, and I think Spidey has got... No, Spencer's got Heidi, like, literally in his kind of claws or something. Thank you, don't you think? I think if you separate them for 24 hours, I promise you girl might actually be real.
We tried.
It's not going to happen, is it?
Failed.
So you think he's the domineering force?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's completely in love with him. Anything he would say, she would do. Yeah. I think she's like this kind of weird Stepford wife. Yeah. And I think that they separate them, she might have a personality.
Yeah.
I disagree.
You disagree?
No, because in the diary room before, when they said about the task, Heidi straight away was like, no way, before Spencer even said anything. So
no, but that's
because she just knows him so well. They've been together for quite a long time. She kind of knows how his brain ticks and what he will and won't do, maybe.
I'm not saying she's not manipulative. I'm not saying that.
I think we're Team Spidey, Lawson.
OK, well, let's ask you about the test then today. Claire obviously didn't get her letter from home. You guys, you're on the road a lot, you're away from home. How important would that letter have been to you lot?
We definitely wouldn't have cried as much as Claire. No.
But then again, you don't have women's emotions.
I know, but Claire cries so much.
Yeah, she's got to man up a little bit. Yeah. Just a little bit.
What about the child aspect of it, though?
I know, if it's that much of a bigger problem, she shouldn't have gone in the first place.
Oh, no! I am not having
backing him up.
anybody say that women with children should not go into Big
know, but
Brother.
then she can't moan about
anybody should be allowed to go into Big
I know,
Brother.
but she can't moan about it the whole time.
But she's moaning because of one letter, no?
No, but in fairness, she does cry a lot.
She is very emotional in there.
As a parent, if you have a letter that you know is going to be from your kids dangled in front of you, you'll go hell for leather to get.
Yeah, but I think they're just playing up to the show, though. As he keeps saying, it's just a game, and he's playing the game. He's loving it.
What do you think they are? Because I'm baffled. Is this genuine? Is this really them? Or is this part of their act?
I know it's part of their act, and it's a great act because it's making it so entertaining.
And people want to keep them in the show because they're entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
And it gets me really wound up. What are you saying, Gracie?
What I think Spidey are playing a really, really good game.
Yeah.
Okay, certain bits they do go a bit too far, but without Spidey and Rylan in the show would have been boring.
I really don't like them. I do love to hate them. You know, one of them ones, Marmite.
It is that thing, isn't it? They are fantastic housemates, but how much of it is genuine and...
I think there should be boundaries, and I think they crossed it tonight. And I think they should go in a task room with a lie detector test, and Spencer should be asked, which do you love most, Fame or Heidi?
They're the perfect pantomime villains.
But where do you stand on the whole letter thing this evening and what they did?
It's upsetting. But let's be honest about it. It's only Wednesday. Claire's going to see her kids on Wednesday.
Yeah, but if you're wanting that little push towards the end, then it's kind of, you know...
It's not the facts. It's upsetting for them that they didn't, she didn't get the letter, but it's the fact that they laughed
so blatant
and clapped, and that is, as a mum, you don't want that. It's not nice. It's like they've got no empathy or compassion or anything to go off and laugh. He's just out of order.
A lady after my own heart there. Boys, did it surprise you that Trisha didn't really have a task within the task, did she? Everybody else had their own little thing to do, but Trisha just had to pick names.
She got off easy, didn't she? I think Trisha should have to do something else.
What else would you do?
I really, really hope she comes out of her shell. I hope she just has
She's leaving it a bit bloody late.
I'm serious. Like any other woman in that place would have actually fought and told them where to go. You know, Rylan is kind of the closest person to actually saying something, but you need a woman in there.
No one else has said anything really apart from Rylan, has he?
Trisha's had a couple of opportunities now to step in and say her piece. She went into the diary room the other night and said she was going to get really cross and then didn't do anything. I think she's kind of blown it for herself.
OK, well, before we start going mad at Trisha, finally, after keeping a lid on her emotions for the past couple of days, Trisha had something she wanted to say.
I'm fine about them. I'm just blazing about them too.
I know.
I'm blazing. I just feel like I'll just make a show of myself if I go for them. That'll be it. I feel like going in there and just saying, last night I said, you haven't got a heart. She said, don't say that. That's not nice. But they haven't.
Proved it.
None of them haven't.
Just fucking proved it.
I'm going to just go and say.
No, why entertain it? Entertain what? That's what they want. That's exactly what they want.
So hard.
All they want is fucking airtime. Don't even give it to them. The only airtime they're going to fucking get now is laying in their bed with no one talking to them. Because I'm not going to fucking even acknowledge that they're there.
So she didn't quite go and say anything, but Nina, what do you make to Rylan's plan?
Oh, just please, someone, anyone, just go in there and tell them where to go. Seriously, please.
OK, you are the voting public. You have saved them twice from eviction. Are you going to save them again on Wednesday?
Fantastic. I mean, they're the best thing Big Brother has ever seen. They are just so good. I mean, they're not a game plan. They're reality stars. And even last night when Claire was in bed with Rylan, she said, who are these people? They think it's a reality show. It is a reality show. What reality is she in?
It's a reality show. I think the rest of the house are playing it like it's a reality show, and they're playing it like the reality show game that it is. So there's two very contrasting opinions. Thank you very much. That was brilliant. Right, still to come, psychologist Dr. Pam Spur talks us through the housemates' endgame mentalities, and Lawson help us deal with the tragedy that is Trisha, Claire and Heidi's music careers.
Whoa!
between the ads since 2011. So, a new day means a new task for the house, but the same old stunts from Spidey. Ryan explains why they won't be giving up their day job anytime soon.
They said something to me the other day that just made me go, right.
What?
I get it. He goes, this is our job. You know, you get out of here and you go back to your normal job. You know, we get out of here and we don't have anything. This is our job. And it's like, yes. You're actually at work right now. And it's like, all right. I get it now. Doesn't change the fact that you're actually being pricks.
Harsh words, but who thinks they're true? So the fanfare and fireworks of the finale take place on Friday night. Now, we all know that Spidey won first place, but who else is in it to win it? Here to explain everything with our expert opinion is Dr. Pam Spur. So, Pam, let's first start with the dilemma task that we saw in this evening's show. What's going on with Spidey? Are they, as some people have, as Paul has said in the audience, they're the perfect pantomime villain? Is it real? What is it? Because I am still desperate to know.
Well, a lot of people are desperate to know. They've got what I'd call a fairy tale complex, and this is where someone doesn't want to reveal their real character, so instead they use sort of fake and pretend roles to do so. Now, in a fairy tale, there are always goodies, there are baddies, there are battles, there are retreats. And what Spidey have done is they've taken over the fairy tale and they've played every role. So that's why it leaves everybody confused. When they first were sent to the basement, they played the victim. Then they came out and they got up to the house and they created havoc, caused a lot of problems. Then they kind of made up for that. Then they went back to the basement when they had their fake sort of, you know, leaving of the house, and then created again when they got back upstairs. Then we saw this period of calm where they kind of won people over, and then it was big blogger, and now this last horror that, you know, that they've sort of put across their housemates.
So they're playing every role in this fairy tale, but are we ever really seeing the real them?
We only see them in very unguarded moments, and there's certainly been a few times where Heidi looks almost guilty. I'd like to think, yes, please feel a bit guilty about, you know, the way you've behaved. Spencer never shows that. He always keeps that facade, the bravado. He has those smirks that he uses to signal that he may not be happy with what's going on, but he's going to plaster that little grin on his face. When I tweet about this, I get people tweeting back about how confused they are.
Yeah.
And so I really do feel that we see very little of the real Spidey.
OK, well, in tonight's show, we obviously saw Claire not guessing her letter because they wouldn't take part in their part of the task. She was told that the letter would be destroyed. And then when it was revealed who had passed and who had failed, Spidey clapped. What does their reaction tell you? And why do they behave like that?
It was a fascinating sequence because all the other housemates clapped for themselves as it was revealed that they had passed their part of the task. Heidi was, if you looked at her on her face and her body language, she had emotionally detached at that point because she knew a ruction was coming when it was revealed that they hadn't done their part of the task. So you saw that she starts looking away, and when she hears it's her turn, she goes into this automatic clap because she has detached from this situation. She's then slapped down by Ryland, but what does Spencer do? He takes over and he claps to show, I'm in control, I've got the power, you're not going to tell her and you're not going to tell me not to clap. So it was very much this sort of signal of his that he was not going to be told what to do by Ryland or Razor.
Is she clapping to rub their faces in it?
No,
Are they heartless and callous like the housemates have said that they are? He was.
Yeah. Definitely, if you gave them the sort of social conscientious sort of scale, they would have absolutely scored very, very lowly on sort of low on having a social conscience. They just, and that's all about sort of regard for the people in your group, empathy for the people of your group. They do not have that. But it was really very much Spencer playing this sort of, you know, heartless role. And he really looked that way. Whereas I do feel that for Heidi, it was less so. I mean, I think there was a difference there. Usually they act as one. But in that, I think there were signs that she did feel a bit guilty.
So do you think maybe she's just following his lead?
I think very much so, and they have that sort of relationship where they feed off each other. And, you know, she looks to him for validation. When she seems to say something that's slightly out of line, he immediately sort of takes over the conversation.
But they have each other's backs every time, don't they?
They do,
and
they
for
do.
that, you can't knock them for it because they're a very tight unit.
Well, they are an incredibly tight unit. In some ways, you might think it's not a healthy way to relate, you see, because there's that utter dependency on each other.
OK, well, Spencer, as we know, keeps saying there are only 5 days left, but in an American accent. But how are the housemates feeling about the home straight? Some better than others, it would seem. Have a look at this.
5 days of done for life. Sounds like nothing now.
Yeah.
It would have meant everything. It's just that last little help to get, you know, get through the next few days.
So why are Spencer and Claire looking at this final week so differently?
OK, well, we've come into the end game mentality. And this is where you can either be incredibly positive looking at those last few days and thinking, yeah, I've got the emotional energy to get through it, or in a negative way. Now, what's happened with Claire is her anxiety throughout her whole experience in the house has absolutely sapped her emotions. So she doesn't have the energy. So then looking ahead, her end game mentality is very negative. It's going to be every hour will feel like a day for her. Now, Spencer or Spidey, on the other hand, they look at it as they've had this support for each other throughout. They are absolutely doing this sort of fairy tale that they're spinning for the public, and you know, the ups and downs they've created themselves. So they still have quite a big emotional reserve left to get them through, so it doesn't look bad to them the next 4 days.
Who do you think is going to find the rest of the time in there the toughest?
Oh, well, absolutely.
Of all of them?
It's Claire, it's Trisha, and Frankie too. All of them have absolutely had their energy sapped. I mean, Frankie has completely lost his mojo, hasn't he? I mean, you know, he's just really gone sort of under the radar. And Trisha too, bless her. I mean, she's absolutely lovely, and she's wanted to speak up so many times, as we've seen with the exclusive, and other times, and yet she hasn't had she's had the sense to say, no, I don't want to speak up and cause confrontation, but that has sapped her reserves of energy. So again, she's got quite a negative endgame in front of her.
Very quickly, because we're out of time, but when Spidey come out of that house, do you think they'll come out and stick to the characters they've been in the house, or will they be like, it's just a game, we're not really like that? What are we going to get, do you think?
They use that mantra as a defence mechanism. It excuses, in their eyes, all of their bad behaviour. So they're saying, it's a game, you know, so that they use that as a blanket excuse to do whatever they want to. And I think what we'll see, sadly, is they'll get all the attention because they will continue to create this fairy tale of their own with the ups, the downs, the goods, the bads, and people want to see it.
Pam, thank you so much. Pam Sperrin. So we've seen how the housemates have coped with being cooped up in the house for nearly a month, but how would they tackle the hardest test of all? I'm not talking about Brian's exit interview. It's much harder than that. It's the bit on the side general knowledge quiz.
Are you ready, bots?
BB Bots.
Who contested the Battle of Waterloo?
God.
What?
Neapolitan?
The Battle of the Waterloo.
You see, I'm going to look really thick now because I haven't got a clue.
Napoleon.
Sorry, I'm Italian.
Who contested the Battle of Waterloo? Us and the French.
Pass. Oh, it's not funny, this. This is really not funny.
Borehamwood is in which English county? Yes.
Hey, we drove through that.
Borehamwood is in Middlesex.
Oh, I'm terrible with geography.
It's near the M25. So I'm Essex, and the next one's Hertfordshire.
London.
Hertfordshire.
I think.
AR.
According to Cockney rhyming slang, what should you do if you are Hank Marvin?
When you're Hank Marvin, you're very hungry.
You're starving, of course.
I'm starving.
You'd have something to eat.
So can't they all be that easy?
You English. Oh, you're funny with your words, aren't you?
What is the recommended retail price of a banana?
£1.25.
I don't eat bananas, don't like them.
For a banana?
I paid 35p the other day. It was a bit off, too.
I would say 80p.
If it's a big one, £2. We all love a big banana.
Who said the unexamined life is not worth living?
Sorry, pass.
The unexamined life is not worth living.
A liar.
I just said that then.
The unexamined life is not worth living.
Oh, God.
Emma Willis.
Let's just go with Darwin.
Someone like Einstein.
A cocktail containing champagne and absinthe is called what?
It's called a... What the fuck was that?
Shaken, not stirred.
It sounds like a very lethal drink. I better try that one.
A bad hangover.
It's called That Hurts. I never had it, but I want one.
Something to do with Kylie Minogue.
In the UK, it was the current Chancellor. Oh, no.
What? Exchequer.
Oh, no. I'm so sick.
Exchequer.
I know this.
My brain's gone dead. I want to say Ed Balls.
Let's say Osborne.
Lewis Fields on...
The cat.
No.
Cat off the advert.
No.
Space, little pod thing.
Oh, good for you.
He's in James Bond. And what a load of bollocks that was. I couldn't say bollocks enough.